Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Krishna kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories. Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. I sincerely apologize for stopping you such ecstatic chanting, but we have to proceed towards our next session, which is the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Prior to that, we will read the 10 offenses to the holy name now, which are to be avoided. And they are written by Vyasdev, and they are as follows. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2, to consider the names of demigod like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. And 10 is to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank you all and welcome you all in the early morning Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. It was so wonderful to hear all of you chanting. Matajis and Prabhujis, if you could kindly unmute your phone, announce your name, it will be my honor to welcome you all in this platform.
Hare Krishna. Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi in Edmonton, Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, my Dandavat Pranam at your lotus feet, Mata. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your consistent joining in Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Thank you so much for all your services. Welcome, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. This is Kamala Klasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees and to Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Komatiki Mataji, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. Thank you so much for all your services, Mataji. Thank you for your wonderful chanting. Thank you for your association, Mataji. Welcome.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, please, please, please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji, at your lotus feet. Please bless all of us so we can chant wonderfully like you and do consistent services like you, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Guru Maharaj, all glories to all the assembled devotees. Thank you so much for your association, Mata. Welcome.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidas.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna. Now, I do see that our Mitravinda Mamatamayi Mataji has already joined. Is Tiffany Mataji there? I would just request Mataji to, yes. So our next session is going to be Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, and prior to and if I could kindly request Tiffany Mataji to go ahead and introduce our today's speaker, please.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This morning, we have the great pleasure of welcoming Her Grace Mitravinda Mamatamayi, Mataji to Bhakti Sangha Japa Group. Mataji is a disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and she hails from a Punjabi family back in Mumbai, India. She met the devotees in Boston in the year 2013, and she served Sri Sri Radha Gopi Vallabh in Boston for a few years. And later, she served Sri Sri Radha Damodar deities in Austin. She moved to Charlotte, North Carolina in 2015, and since then she has been sheltered with wonderful devotee association. She conducts Bhakti Vriksha programs, ladies and kids programs in her local congregation, and she has been an active participant in Bhakti Sangha Japa group for many, many years. So it's so lovely to have you give class to us, Mataji, this morning. Welcome and thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Tiffany Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mitravinda Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata, at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for your association on Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. We are indeed very fortunate to have you, Mata. Mataji, if you could kindly enlighten us today from the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are going to read from canto number 7, chapter number 3, verses 25 to 27. Whenever you're ready, Mataji, you can take the call over. Haribol.
Thank you so much, Mataji, Neena Mataji, Tiffany Mataji, and all devotees at Bhakti Sangha Japa conference for this opportunity. We'll get started now. We'll start with Bhagavatam prayers. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Mataji, it says confirm your speaking language English. Should I say yes and save?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
yes, Mataji.
Okay. So we'll read the verse now from Canto 7, Science of God, Chapter 3, Shloka number 25. Uthaya pranjali prahva ikshmano drisha vibhum harshashru pulokodbhedo gira gadgadaya granat. Synonyms: Uthaya, getting up; Pranjali, with folded hands; Pravaha, in humble manner; Ikshamana, seeing; Drisha, with his eyes; Vibhum, the supreme person within this universe; Harsha, of jubilation; Ashru, with tears; Pulaka, with hair standing on the body; Udbheda, enlivened; Gira, by words; Gadgadaya, faltering; Agranath, prayed. Translation: Then getting up from the ground and seeing Lord Brahma before him, the head of the Daityas was overwhelmed with jubilation, with tears in his eyes, his whole body shivering. He began praying in a humble mood with folded hands and faltering voice to satisfy Lord Brahma. Next verse, 26-27. Shri Hiranyakashipuruvacha Kalpante Kalashishtena Yo Andhena Tamassavritam Abhivagayanag Jagad Idam Swayan Jyoti Swarochishaha Atmanati Chedam Srajyate Lumpati Rajah Sattva Tamodhamne Paraya Mahate Namaha. Synonyms. See Hiranyakashipu Uvacha. Hiranyakashipu said, Kalpa Ante, at the end of every day of Lord Brahma, Kala Shishtena, created by the time factor, Yaha, he who, Andhena, by dense darkness, Tamasa, by ignorance, Avratam, covered, Abhivyanak, manifested, Jagat, cosmic manifestation, Idam, this, Swayam Jyoti, self-effulgent, Swarochisha, by his bodily rays, Atmana, by himself, Trivrita, conducted by the three modes of material nature, Cha, also, Idam, this material world, Srijati, creates, Avati, maintains, Lumpati, annihilates, Rajaha, of the modes of passion, Sattva, the mode of goodness, Tamaha, and the mode of ignorance, Dhamne, unto the Supreme Lord, Paraya, unto the Supreme. Mahate, unto the great. Namaha, my respectful obeisances. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord within this universe. At the end of each day of his life, the universe is fully covered with dense darkness by the influence of time. And then again, during the next day, that self-effulgent Lord, by his own effulgence, manifests, maintains, and destroys the entire cosmic manifestation through the material energy, which is invested with the three modes of material nature. He, Lord Brahma, is the shelter of those modes of nature, Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamagun. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The words Abhivyagnak, Jagat Idam refer to he who creates this cosmic manifestation. The original creator is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, Janmadya Yasya Yatha. Lord Brahma is the secondary creator. When Lord Brahma is empowered by Lord Krishna as the engineer to create the phenomenal world, he becomes the supremely powerful feature within this universe. The total material energy is created by Krishna, and later, taking advantage of all that has been necessarily created, Lord Brahma engineers the entire phenomenal universe. At the end of Lord Brahma's day, everything up to Swargloka is inundated with water, and next morning, when there is darkness in the universe, Brahma again brings the phenomenal manifestation into existence. Therefore, he is described here as he who manifests this universe. Trin Gunan Vrinoti. Lord Brahma takes advantage of the three modes of material nature. Prakriti, material nature, is described here as Trivrata, the source of the three material modes. Srila Madhvacharya comments in this connection that Trivrata means Prakritya. Thus, Lord Krishna is the original soul, original creator, and Lord Brahma is the original engineer. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry for my bad Sanskrit pronunciation. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedant Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. I'll share the screen. I have made few slides in related to the topic today. So yesterday we had a very beautiful class by Sachipran Prabhuji, and he spoke very nicely on the aspects of demigod worship, and he gave various references from the Shastras, and he enlightened us. So today the verses are, further the continuation of the flow that is going on. So let's see. We'll start by glorifying Bhagavatam. So we all know that Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the desire tree of all the Vedic scriptures. It is non-different from Krishna, and it has returned in the form of his literary book or incarnation, which is also known as Sri Krishna Pravartita, to shed the light on the misdirected souls like us in Kali Yuga. And it is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva in his complete maturity of knowledge. And if we do Bhagavatam study in the parampara, it will give us unparalleled understanding of absolute truth versus all the other methods of speculation and your own endeavors. And Lord speaks through his disciplic succession. And here today, when we are going to understand the verses, we are going to see how Guru Parampara is so important in reading Bhagavatam and understanding. Otherwise, it is very easy to get distracted and go in some other methods of worship. And here we have very good fortune to be amongst all the devotees in Bhakti Sangha. And I'm very, very fortunate and grateful for this opportunity to purify myself by speaking something little that I can on Srimad Bhagavatam verses. All the devotees are very wonderful here. Please, I ask for your blessings and forgiveness if I do any mistakes. And I definitely, look forward for all the blessings to continue speaking. And here we see I have put a quote or shloka from Padma Puran where it says that the first and second cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Third and fourth are his thighs. Fifth is his navel. Sixth is his chest. The seventh and eighth canto are his arms. Ninth canto is his throat. 10th canto is his beautiful lotus face. And 11th is his forehead. And 12th is his head. I bow down to that Lord, the ocean of mercy, whose color is like that of tamal tree, and who appears in this world for the welfare of all. I worship him as the bridge for crossing the unfathomable ocean of material existence. The Bhagavatam has appeared as his very self from Padma Puran. Going further. Now we know that 7th canto mainly deals with inclination or utaya or uti, we can say, that part of 10 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. And we'll see here that there are two extreme cases of Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu having auspicious inclinations and inauspicious inclinations. And it is the very cause of our happiness and distress in this life and whatever lives and births will have in future. So after 6th canto, the connection starts with Parikshit Maharaj asking a question because he has a doubt in his mind that how come the Lord who is complete, who is self-satisfied, who's got nothing to do with anyone, can be partial to demigods? Because in 6th canto and further back, we see many instances where Lord has favored demigods. So he's having doubt. And here we have to understand that Parikshit Maharaj, although he's talking as if he's having a doubt, but he's asking that question so that he can relish the pastimes of the Lord. So he asked, how is it possible that Lord is, partial? Then Shukadev Goswami narrates another pastime in his narration about Yudhishthir Maharaj and Narad Muni, that how they had a conversation and Yudhishthir Maharaj had the same question about, favoring of the demigods and dealing with the demons. So that time Narad Muni had narrated pastime of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha and other various, incarnations also. So we all know in Bhagavatam 3rd canto, we read about Jai Vijay and curse given by 4 Kumaras and how they took birth first as Ravan, Kumbkaran, and then Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and then Shishupal and Dantwakra. And that is where, they are discussing about that. And then now we are here in the 7th canto talking about Hiranyakashipu. So we know that how Hiranyakashipu had lost his brother and he had a very sad reaction, very angry reaction to that. And he decided that he's going to become the strongest person, the most powerful person in the entire universe. And he went to Mandara mountain. He did severe austerities. He was standing on his toes, keeping his arms upwards, looking up towards the sky. And after some time, and he continued like this for thousands of years, fire started emanating from his head, and the heat, it spread everywhere. The heat from the fire spread everywhere and heated up all the planets. All the inhabitants of various planets were having so much difficulty in surviving. The entire globe, the universe was trembling. And definitely, all the inhabitants, and especially demigods, they were concerned, and they could do something about it. So they all went to Brahmaji, because Brahmaji is the head of the universe, and we see that whenever there is any problem, they all go to Brahmaji. So they all went to Brahmaji, and then Brahmaji said, okay, I will find some solution for this. And definitely we see at this point, Brahmaji was also little pleased with the austerities of Hiranyakashipu, and he goes to Hiranyakashipu and he sees that how his body is completely covered by anthill, bamboo, trees were growing, grass. His body was just surviving. I mean, his life and soul was just surviving in the bones that were left, and everything was eaten up by ants. And then when Brahmaji comes, he sees Hiranyakashipu in that condition, and he puts some holy water on him and he revives his body. And then Hiranyakashipu gets completely, healthy and young and strong body like earlier he had. And then further we see that here Srila Prabhupada and Shukdev Goswami is mentioning, Narad Muni is mentioning that how when he started praying to Brahmaji, he had a faltering voice in a very humble mood. But we'll see that behind that faltering voice are flattering words. And how it is, we are going to discuss that today. So there are 2-3 aspects in this purport that Srila Prabhupada has given us about secondary creator and 3 modes of material nature, right? But why is it like that? Because if you see the shloka, let me share the screen here. Here, we see, it says, Brahma, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord within this universe. Okay, Supreme Lord within this universe. And later it says Brahma is the shelter of those modes of nature. And here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the original creator is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Lord Brahma is the secondary creator. When Lord Brahma is empowered by Lord Krishna as the engineer to create this phenomenal world, he becomes a supremely powerful feature within this universe. Okay, so here we see that although shloka is talking about Brahma as being the supreme by Hiranyakashipu, but Srila Prabhupada clears it up for us that it is Krishna who is the supreme personality of Godhead. Now we'll understand why is it happening. Why does this shloka mention that Brahma is the supreme personality of Godhead by Hiranyakashipu? So we see in last chapter, second canto, there were very nice verses which talk about lots of philosophy from Bhagavad Gita, from Bhagavatam, and it is spoken by Hiranyakashipu. So when he was very mad and upset about his brother's death, he had to pacify his family. And then he uses all the various ways to pacify them and make them comfortable by giving philosophical discussion and story about Yamaraj and, bird like that. We see he is very knowledgeable. Then why in the further episodes we'll see that even now that why is he trying to become the most powerful person in the universe, and for that he's taking blessing from the most powerful person in the universe, Brahmaji himself. So he wants to take blessing from Brahmaji to kill Brahma and eventually kill Vishnu. Why is it? Because person who has knowledge will never act like that. So here again we see that just knowledge is not enough and just work is not enough. For exactly the reason why Shri Krishna has put 2 chapters, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and then Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, because we just cannot work on our knowledge, or we just cannot work on our work. So we have to have a combination of both of these to be successful in our life. So here in the case of Hiranyakashipu, he was very learned, but he had no knowledge of how to apply it. And he had no desire or inclination to work on that knowledge and then make his life successful. And how does it happen? So there is one very nice, beautiful shloka in Bhagavad Gita from 7th chapter, Ichha Dvesha Samuthena, where it says, O scion of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. So we see here the envy part comes, and it shows how Hiranyakashipu is so envious of the Lord, because he has desire to become Lord, the most powerful person, and then kill him because he hates him, because things are not going according to his own desire, because his brother was killed and he wanted to become the most powerful person. So when we read this pastime, we can understand that somewhere it is allegorical story for all of us also, because in today's world, in Kali Yuga, we see situations around us are almost the same. Everyone is envious of each other, and all the fights and all the problems that are happening in this world is because of envy, because people are envious at individual level, at country level, at family level, and within their friends and family and everything. But Bhagavad Gita teaches us very important lesson when Krishna says that I am ability in man. And Krishna also says that all the living entities are my parts and parcels. So if we understand this one thing, that we all are parts and parcels of Krishna, we belong to him, Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loki, Krishna says. And then all the abilities that we see in various individuals here, and whatever various countries they are flourishing in some or the other aspect, we have to understand that it is the power of Krishna, it is the ability of Krishna that is manifesting in that person. If we understand this one thing, we'll never be envious of others, and we'll try to be peaceful with everyone, try to have peaceful relationships with everyone. So here we see that this envy is mostly because of desire and hate. And further we see that, of course, we are very fortunate that with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are all at least able to come to the platform where we are all cooperating, recognizing each other's different talents, bring it together and use it for the service in the best possible way, for the pleasure of all the acharyas and uh, Guru Maharaj and Krishna himself, Radharani, like that. And then here we see that I was just reading the shloka, and I like this shloka so much because here Krishna in 14th chapter again says, the demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in future, more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. So sometimes, not sometimes, many a times, always, in fact, when I read this shloka, I can somewhere, relate that, yes, very subtly, sometimes we have these things going on in our mind, and we see around, people are mostly centered around these qualities and these thoughts only. And again, one of the another chapters in Bhagavatam, same dialogue are there, but spoken by Kamsa when he's about to send Akrura to bring Krishna and Balram from Vrindavan to Mathura. Exact same dialogues, it's been spoken by Kamsa. And we see that demoniac people generally have these thoughts that they want to clear the path and enjoy everything for themselves. So we see that just knowledge is not enough. These, demons, they were very knowledgeable, but they did not know how to apply it. And that's why they were always in anxiety. They were always in stress, even till they left their bodies. And then we go to next. Yeah. So here we'll touch the topic, secondary creator. Sorry to put the picture of Chole here, but that's the easiest way I understand about secondary creator and primary creator. So we know that how Srila Prabhupada mentioned that Krishna is the original creator and then primary creator, and then Brahmaji is the secondary creator. How he creates all the stuff necessary for creating the universe. He gives it to Brahmaji, who is empowered Jiva, and then Brahmaji, out of those ingredients and raw materials, creates the entire planetary system and various species, various other vegetables and everything, and gives their all the jivas their respective whatever they birth they deserve. So here we can understand that how when we cook something in our kitchen, whether it is chole or any other recipe, the raw ingredients are not created by us, including the oil, all the spices, condiments, right? Whatever we cook, all this is provided by nature. No matter how much, our dish turns out to be yummy or, tasty in the end. But until and unless we have raw material, we cannot do anything. So again, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3rd, when Krishna says that how he creates everything, he sends forth everything. And then, it's an entire cycle. So when, here we can put a practical application that when everything is provided to us by the nature, by Krishna, and then when we cook something, it should be first offered to Lord. Now, another simple example to understand thing here is that sometimes here we get, ready-made furniture, we just go and shop. Now, for that fact, even in India, we just go and, in the shop we bring and we just decorate our home. But when we were little, we saw if we had to make any table or any chair or any furniture item in our home, we had to go outside, bring raw material and find a good person, good carpenter who can make it for us, bring him home, and then he used to sit at home and make it for us. And then we definitely appreciated how he made it. But ultimately, in the end, that furniture is ours because we provided the raw material and we just hired him. So in that way, even though that carpenter made, he cannot claim, he cannot become the supreme within that situation. Although we are all supreme at some point in every situation, like at home, mother and father are the supreme. And then when we go out, we live in a community, then, in USA, we have HOAs and, other people. They are supreme because they get to decide many things, around the community. Then when you go out in the town, there are, people in the town who are supreme, who get to decide about, many details in the town. And then further, big city, state, country, and then world. So we see that everybody is supreme at some level. So Srila Prabhupada, when preaching was very nicely going on during the time of Srila Prabhupada used to tell his devotees, his disciples, that yes, you all are doing very nice service, but we all have to know our position that within this big universe, there is some planet Earth, and within that planet Earth, there is this country USA, and within that country USA or India, there is this city, and within that city there is this town, within that town this is the street, within the street there are many homes, and out of that there is one home or office or temple, and out of that temple, in that temple you are one of the jivatmas. So Srila Prabhupada always tried to make us understand that yes, we could be supreme in whatever situation we create or whatever situation or services we get, but ultimately the supreme personality is Krishna. And then here we see again, I missed a point, that how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, but still sometimes we don't understand. At least, we devotees have this vision with the help of Srila Prabhupada and all acharyas, but otherwise, you see outside, you tell people, to come read Bhagavad Gita, and when they read that Krishna says, one of my eyes is sun, one of my eyes is moon. So they don't understand. And it is a little difficult to understand that how is it possible that, sun and moon are the eyes of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada explains that very nicely, saying that when you look at the eyes of a cat for some time, you get lost in the eyes of the cat. You are so, with so much dedication, you are looking into the eyes of the cat that you forget that the cat exists. So similarly, for people who are materialistic, who are more interested in nature and its energy, they keep looking at those things, they keep concentrating on those things, that they forget that there might be somebody behind this entire creation. So here we see same in the case of Hiranyakashipu, that he was so much into materialistic behavior and mentality that he completely forgot, or he completely denied that there is Krishna behind all this material creation. So this is how we understand that Srila Prabhupada made us understand that we could be supreme in whatever, but ultimately it is Krishna who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And again, most of us are parents here, and we understand that how it becomes easy when we surrender to Krishna, and it makes life easy for everyone, because here in our house we have sometimes 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, or maybe 4 kids. And we see when kids try to especially when they grow up, they are growing up in teenage years, they become very rebellious, they have their own nature, they try to challenge parents in every situation, they try to challenge their authority, they try to put down their parents, saying that I know everything, what do you know? And in that way we see, if they just surrender to parents and follow their instructions, they will be provided everything. They themselves will be peaceful, parents will be peaceful, and everything will be provided for them. They don't have to worry about anything. So for in our case also, rather than trying to lord it over the nature, trying to think somebody else is the Lord here, or I'm the Lord here, if we simply surrender to Krishna, everything will be provided. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, about same topic, that for people who are devoted to me, who worship me, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So we see everything will be provided by the Lord. Like kids don't have to tell us, or we never had to tell our parents, Mama, please make breakfast for me in the morning, please don't forget to make breakfast, right? Or our kids don't have to tell us. In fact, parents do more than what kids will expect, or they uh, want more than anything. So here we see that Krishna also, if we just surrender to him, he being our supreme father, he will take care of us. But just that little free will with which is there with us, we try to exploit, we try to go into demoniac ways and try to become the lords. Again, there is this chapter, divine and demoniac natures. um, if you read that chapter, it shows that how being devotee is very easy and very simple. First few shlokas, like 2 or 3 shlokas, talk about the divine qualities, and rest of the chapter talks about demoniac qualities and how it manifests and how it works. So we see that being devotee is very simple, few qualities, but if you stick to them, you are divine. But for demoniac qualities, there are so many ways, there is so much diplomacy, so much anxiety, so much stress. But in the end, again, what happens? Lord is not satisfied. So here we see that how Lord is the supreme creator, primary creator, and we are the secondary creators for every situation that we have, whether we are cooking at home or whether Lord Brahmaji is creating the universe or cooking up the entire universe. And here we see that when we talk about Brahmaji and we are comparing that with our situation of making chole, it's not the same. It looks same, but it is not the same, because Brahmaji is doing the task, a very big task of creating the universe, which Krishna himself can do. And we know that Brahmaji is also position, and it is taken up by Jiva Tattva, just like all of us. So, we cannot create universe. We can definitely make chole, but we cannot, out of the ingredients, we see earth, water, fire, ether, air, ether everywhere, but we won't be able to create the universe. So definitely here we see that Brahmaji is one of our Mahajans. He is a great personality. And even in the qualities, number of qualities that we have, he's higher than human beings or Jeev Tattvas. And we in no way we disrespect Brahmaji, because usually sometimes we have observed, when we make comparison of Krishna and demigods and us, because Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, we try to put everybody down. It shouldn't be the case. Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, and Brahmaji is also a very empowered person or empowered position. And then after that, we are all, Jeev Tattvas and other people are there. Because Srila Prabhupada told that we cannot even disrespect the ant, or, he told us to feed even the ants at home. So what about, Brahmaji, who is the, like secondary creator or the engineer of this world? So in that way, we should understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Brahmaji is also supreme within the universe for creating with the help of the material provided by Krishna. Going further. So here we see, I'll go to the shloka once. Here, Srila Prabhupada is talking about three modes of material nature, that Lord Brahma takes advantage of the three modes of material nature. And material nature is described here as Trivrata, the source of the three material modes. Srila Madhvacharya comments in this connection that Trivrata means Prakritya. Thus, Lord Krishna is the original creator and Lord Brahma is the original engineer. So here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining about three modes of material nature. And here, Hiranyakashipu is saying Lord Brahma, is the shelter of those modes of nature, Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamogun. So now we'll discuss something about three modes of material nature here. And again, we see that Varpat says that Krishna is the source of three modes of material nature. And Brahmaji is saying that, Hiranyakashipu is saying that Brahmaji is the shelter of all three modes of material nature. Now, somebody can take this shloka and quote it and say that, you ISKCON devotees always say Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But see here in this shloka, it is said that Brahma is the Supreme Person. He is the shelter of all three modes of material nature. For that matter, in many places throughout Bhagavatam and many other Puranas also, other devotees or other demigods are addressed as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how do we understand that? Like in Shiv Puran, Shivji is addressed as Supreme Person. In Vishnu Puran, Vishnu is addressed. In various places in Bhagavatam, Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Brahman Puran, for an example, Brahmaji is addressed as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how do we understand that? By understanding the context in who is speaking the verse, who is speaking that dialogue, and in what way, to whom, and in what way. So here we see in the case of Hiranyakashipu, he is speaking. Who is he? He is not a devotee. He is a completely materialistic person, demoniac person. And he is speaking this to Brahmaji. Why? For his own benefit, for his own diplomacy. So that's why it's very important to read Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada again and again, try to, put this thing in our consciousness and our mind, that Guru Parampara is very important to understand things. Otherwise, if we try to read Bhagavatam or any other scriptures on our own, then this is how we are going to get misled. And anybody can, come and give us any references that, see here, it is written, Brahma is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this way we see that Guru Parampara and learning from bona fide authorities is very important. Now coming back to three modes of material nature. So there are few verses that I picked up from Bhagavad Gita. Here in 3rd chapter, Krishna says, the spirit soul bewildered by the influence of false ego thinks. I'll just move this. Yeah. Influence of false ego thinks himself the doer of the activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. So all the activities that we do are carried out by three modes of material nature. We should never think that we are the doers. Okay. And then further, in the same chapter, Krishna says, sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the mode of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata, sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance. And at other times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Further in 18th chapter, 48th shloka, Krishna says, there is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary system, which is free from three modes born of material nature. So Krishna says here that nobody is free from these three modes of material nature, whether in this planet, higher planetary system, or lower planetary system. So we see that how is then Brahmaji source of and shelter of all the three modes of material nature? Because it's contradictory. And we know that whatever Hiranyakashipu is speaking, he's speaking out of his own personal agenda. So it is not correct, because here, Mataji, 1 second. Okay, so here we see that Brahmaji is not the person who is the source of or shelter of three modes of material nature. And then, I like this shloka so much, the purport, here in Bhagavatam, which talks about how when we decide which mode we are going to associate with, that mode acts upon us. Because, if we read these two verses, then we might feel, oh, where is our free will? Because it is the three modes of material nature that is doing everything for us. And then, somebody might argue this also, that, as goodness, passion, and ignorance are coming in cycle. They are always in cycle. It's in a continuation. How am I responsible? Whatever is happening, modes are, responsible for doing that. So here, like I was saying, Canto 10th, chapter 46, purport 40, here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions, although the Lord does not favor or abuse anyone, we still observe happiness and suffering in this world. Why? Because Gita state, Karanam Guno Sangasya. We desire to associate with various qualities of material nature, and thus we must accept the consequences. So example is that a person who takes alcohol, he cannot, blame the alcohol completely. That alcohol, came walking and, went into my mouth, and it went down my throat, and then it started acting on me. The fact is that first he made a choice. He desired to associate with ignorance in the form of alcohol, and then he had to accept the consequences. These are the laws of material nature. This is how three modes of material nature work. Definitely they control you, but it is our own free will also, that what are we trying to do. So if you make a choice that I'm going to be a devotee, I'm going to read Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm going to chant, I'm trying to eat as much prasadam as I can, then prasadam and all the goodness and pure goodness will act on you. But if you try to be in ignorance, then ignorance will act on you. And so this is about three modes of material nature, and we spoke how it how, although even in shloka, Brahmaji is addressed as shelter of those modes, but Srila Prabhupada has cleared it up here for us. And then we'll come to our last slide. Oh, I just happened to, actually too many things are popping up. Yeah, I'll just open my slides again. Give me a minute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Yes, here. So in the end, what is the takeaway for all of us? So I remembered this very nice shloka from Bhagavatam again, which comes in 11th canto, 14th chapter, where, Uddhav Krishna Samvad is going on. Krishna says, my dear Uddhav, the unalloyed devotional service rendered to me by my devotees bring me under their control. I cannot be controlled by those engaged in mystic yoga, Sankhya philosophy, pious work, Vedic study, austerity, or renunciation. So Krishna says that I am pleased by unalloyed devotional service. And we see that for us, in our case, all ISKCON devotees, Srila Prabhupada followers, and whatever bona fide, all the bona fide paramparas which are there, everybody is blessed if they follow their guru's instruction. So here in our case, from Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas, they have given us so many beautiful instructions that if we apply even one of them in our lives will be successful. Like in the case of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, I was reading that he said that if we sing Mangalarti for 12 years, we'll see Krishna face to face. We'll go back home, back to Godhead. So these are the promise of devotees. This is the promise of Krishna that manifest through all the devotees. And because Krishna pure devotees promise us, about all the devotional service and its benefits, Krishna will definitely, consider those. So here, in materialistic world, how it works that man proposes and God disposes. But in case of devotees, um, Lord might propose so many things. Lord proposes, but devotee uh, disposes. Lord proposes, devotee disposes. So Krishna might offer us so many things. He might be ready to give us everything. But, devotees in the end, they are not interested. In fact, that is just, one of the signs of progress, that if we have to gauge, if we have to see where do we stand, we can see that how much interested we are in acquiring things, about accumulating things for ourselves, to make our lives comfortable by having nice home furniture. Of course, that all what we have to do, we have to do. What we have to get, we have to get. But we have to analyze ourselves, that how much are we attached to it. And then definitely, we have seen in Bhagavatam and many pastimes that Krishna has given in abundance to his devotees, even though devotees don't care. He has given. In the case of Bali Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, he has given to everyone. Why? Because they had unalloyed devotional service. And here we see in the case of Hiranyakashipu, although he did so much austerity, Lord was not at all impressed. In fact, he was annihilated in the end. So whatever we do, mystic yoga, Sankhya philosophy, pious work, Vedic study, it will not impress the Lord. But definitely with devotional service, if all these things are included, according to the time, place, and circumstance, then it will definitely be considered. So going back, we'll see. We'll try to do the summary of what we saw so far. We saw how Bhagavatam is like compared to the body of Krishna, and it is his very self, not even comparison. Actually, it is his very self. Padma Puran says, and then we see that how Parikshit Maharaj was dissatisfied, and he wanted to know more about that topic, that is Lord really partial or impartial. And Shukadev Goswami says that when we discuss that topic, it will bring out the glories of the God, glories of our Supreme Lord also. Why? Because everything is the mercy or impartiality of Lord is also completely dependent on the inclination or attitude of the person. And then he narrates that with the help of pastime that happened, narration that happened between Narad Muni and Yudhishthir Maharaj. And then further he, like I said, he explained about 3 births of Jai Vijay with as Ravan, Kumbhakaran, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyaksha. And then how Hiranyakashipu went and did severe austerities on Mandara mountain, standing on toes. And then how everything was being disturbed and all demigods went to appeal to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, being responsible for taking care of everyone, went and blessed Hiranyakashipu and revived him. And how Hiranyakashipu, with faltering voice, started using flattering words to impress Lord Brahma, to get benediction from him, to kill him and Vishnu because of desire and hate. And then we saw Brahmaji as secondary creator, and how that even though he's not the primary, but still he's not less. He's empowered person. And further, we saw 3 modes of material nature topic. And this last point, that it is our desire what modes of material nature we want to associate with, and then it will work on us. And then we saw in the end that how Lord is pleased only by bhakti. So in this case, I would like to add few another points, that total surrender to the Lord in the case of Draupadi. The moment she surrendered, all her stress was gone. Otherwise, before that, when she was tried to be dishonored, she tried all her might, all her strength to help herself, but she couldn't. But the moment she surrendered to Lord, she was provided unlimited sari by Lord for her protection. So we see that when we surrender to Lord, depend complete on his protection, then things become easier for us. Okay, so I'm not sure if I missed any points. Yeah. Thank you all so much for giving me this opportunity. This is my offering for the verses that I was given this morning. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your wonderful association. Thank you for all your summary. You were about to say something, Mataji? Did I just stop you?
Yeah, I was just about to say that, if we have any thoughts or, corrections or questions, we can take it now, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It was wonderful, and your summary was so pleasing, and especially the last verse where Lord is speaking himself to Uddhava. What can we say? It was amazing, Mataji, mesmerizing. Thank you so much, Mataji. We do have some questions. Preeti Vilasani Mataji, would you like to go ahead and ask your question, Mata?
Hey, Mamatamayi Mataji. What a pleasant surprise. And such a beautiful class it was. It was very, very nicely done, Mataji. Thank you so much for uncovering the purport in so much, it's very sweet details. I did have a question, Mataji, which I am also trying to find out why and how. So please let me know. I know you had already clarified it, saying that he was only trying to, with a faltering voice, he was trying to flatter. You said very nicely. So mostly it was, I just want to reconfirm that it was just flattery. It is not that he thought really that Brahma is the Lord of this universe. Is that how I should take it? Even the next verse is also on the similar lines. And I couldn't find this answer anywhere. So I'm just asking you, Mataji, if you can help me.
Yes. So,
realize-
Mataji, thank you so much, Mataji. I could be wrong, but from what I understand is that in the past chapter, in second chapter of this canto, we see that Hiranyakashipu is talking very beautiful, Bhagavad Gyan. When I read that chapter for first time few years back, I was thinking, is there any misunderstanding? Because Hiranyakashipu is talking, and I was feeling that I'm sitting in some Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam class. So that way we see that yes, Hiranyakashipu definitely knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality or Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that is the reason exactly why he wanted to kill him. And for that reason we see that he's here we see that he's kind of doing flattery because he knows, but he's trying to get his work done, which is not going to work anyways. Because if you see in a big office or big organization, if we want to go and take the position of the highest person there, CEO or anyone, and then if we try to butter or try to get information from the lower people there, then I feel that in that case you definitely know what is your goal and why is that your goal, because that is the supreme person and that is the supreme position. So yes, Mataji, he knew, and that's why it was faltering voice with flattering words, Mataji.
Very nice. And also, Mataji, so I'm just trying to understand this for my own benefit.
Mhm.
This Hiranyakashipu, he's assuming that if he gets a benediction from Brahma, he can become Brahma and Brahma will step down. Is that the idea? Or he wanted to even kill Brahma? I mean, what was really going through this situation? He wants to kill Vishnu, but he wants Brahma to step down from his position. Is that how it is?
Mataji, we see right further in chapters, not now, but further it is mentioned, and our Guru Maharaj explains that how he had control all over the three worlds, that all the demigods were actually working for him, chopping vegetables, cleaning his palaces, like that. So in that case, even if he did not kill, he would have everything in control because he was able to control the rains, he was able to control the sunlight, and how the things are happening. So that way we see that even if he does not step down, he will have the control. Even if he does not kill, he will have the control over them.
Because of the benedictions he received.
Yes. Because we saw, right, how he was able to control everything in future.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice, Mataji. Very nice class, nice analogies. I was definitely expecting Chole to be there. How can a class be without Chole? So it was the perfect Mamta Mataji class. Thank you so much. Love the class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. It's all your glories, Mataji. You taught me how to give presentations. Thank you so much.
Expert Mataji.
Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, would you like to go ahead and ask your question, Mata?
Hare Krishna, Mamatamayi, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, our glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for coming on the call and very nicely explaining these verses. You covered very detailedly each and every point from the purport, Mataji, going through the purport and going from the PPT purport. So detailedly explain how Brahmaji is a secondary creator, not the supreme creator. Example of Chole, as Priti Mataji said, it's very apt for all of us in the kitchen. We know we are not the wholesome creator of the recipes that we are doing. We are getting everything by Krishna's mercy, then we are just mixing everything together. Thank you, Mataji, for a detailed explanation how Brahma is not the creator and Krishna is the supreme creator, and how Hiranyakashipu is trying to make him feel that glorify him and trying to get benediction and then kill again to him. He is like put on him only, like this story, right? The mouse and the mouse goes and asks for the benediction to be like a tiger or
Become out.
lion,
Yeah.
and then finally want to eat the guru itself.
Yes.
It's the same thing I was remembering when you are telling about many other stories in this verses when you're covering, Mataji. Thank you so much. A very, very
Thank
beautiful
you.
class, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Very good.
So I was just remembering one more thing, that you know how we are all bosses at some level in whatever situation and whatever services we have, we are there. But and you know, people around us also sometimes start believing like that. Like in the case of Chole, you know, how you know my kids would think that, oh, if mom makes best Chole, then she's the only one who can make Chole and she only creates Chole. So that way, in the case of again in from Bhagavatam, in the case of Ajamil, when Yamdutas had come to take Ajamil, and then how Vishnu Dutas also came when he called Narayan. We remember how you know Yamdutas were very upset because they thought Yamraj is the ultimate boss, and then you know they go and talk to Yamraj that we thought you are the only one. Who is this new person now? Like that. So yes, Mataji, thank you so much for the
Nice,
opportunity.
Mataji. Thank you. And also, I really like the example that you're telling, like how our kid says that, you know, I know everything. You don't have to teach me. The same position we are in, like we are thinking, we are telling to Krishna, oh, I am the owner of my house, or I am everything. Who are you to tell me? Like instead of doing that, we just surrender to him. He gives more than what we need and what we are actually going to achieve by ourselves. If we say he will give us everything that we need. That example also I really like it, and very easy to understand the supremacy of Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yes,
The
Mataji.
bliss to stay with Krishna, understanding that Krishna is the supreme and surrendering on to him. This example really helps us, Mataji. How much glory to be the servant of Krishna and enjoy everything. Hari Bol, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. So this is also another, you know, mercy of Lord, giving us, you know, he's giving us this opportunity to try to become lords of this material world, right? To be the creators in our own little world. So that is also his mercy. And the more we try to do it, the more we realize that how we are not in control, right? So the first shloka of Ishopanishad says the same thing. This world is complete in a way. It serves the purpose. Even this material world serves the purpose of not serving the purpose, of not, you know, making us satisfied, because then only ultimately we'll come to the realization. So yes, Mataji, thank you so much for beautiful
Thank you,
discussion.
Mataji, for coming on the call. It was very nice to hear from you, Bhagavatam. We will try to see and schedule again for you, Mataji. Hari Bol,
Sure, Mercy
hopefully.
Mataji. Thank you so much. So
Radha Jyoti Mataji, if you have a question, please go ahead. Mata.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you. Thank you so much for allowing me to ask the question.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you, Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to you, Mataji.
Pranam,
Mataji, my question to you is: you mentioned about the devotional service, which is above all the austerities that we see or we have learned in the Bhagavad Gita. So my question to you is: Hiranyakashipu was doing so much of austerities. He was at the peak, and he was uh, having a very a desire to go against the Lord. But Lord did not feel that okay, he's doing so much of austerity, I'll shower a mercy and give him a devotional service and make him a devotee. He never thought so, because the desire was strong. So I want to know what is the exact, because we are all, I if I take my case, I was also not interested to approach the devotees when devotees were coming in my life at very start. So what made that mercy to come again to me? I just wanted to know how Krishna will give devotional service, allow a person to do the devotional service at start.
So Mataji, what I understand is that how do we get the mercy, right? The nutshell of your question is that how do we get the mercy even though sometimes we are not ready for the mercy, right?
Exactly. About the devotional service, because the devotional service, as you mentioned, devotion, as we study, devotional service is the highest level of the service that we can do in our life. So how Lord sanctions the devotional service to a jiva when jiva is not ready to
So Mataji,
appreciate.
yeah, so I remember something from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Let me see if I can try to share the screen and show you the verses. In the end of Bhagavad Gita, in 18th chapter, Krishna says, I don't know why yeah, here. So in the Fal Shruti,
Hare Krishna Mataji, we cannot see your screen. Are you sharing?
yeah, I was trying to open it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes. So here in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the end, in Fal Shruti part, Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions, do not fear. And here we see that even if we are not able to come to this point of just surrendering unto Lord and becoming fearful, then there is another thing. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me, right? So this is exactly our situation, that we are not austere, we are not devoted, we are not engaged. And Krishna is saying that this confidential knowledge may never be explained to us, right? So if you take it as a comparison, that when you are saying that our situation is like that, we are not devoted, but still this knowledge has been explained to us by Srila Prabhupada, all the devotees, our Siksha Gurus, and our Guru Maharaj, right? How is it? Because Srila Prabhupada explains in, somewhere in Bhagavad Gita, I don't remember, that devotees are more merciful than the Lord. Even though Krishna says that don't explain this to people who are not austere, devoted, or engaged in devotional service, who are envious of me, but still, that is one rule that devotees will, transgress and go and explain the science to everyone. If that was the case, Srila Prabhupada would have never come to USA. But the very fact that he came to USA is that, he came because here we know that that time people were not devoted, they were not austere, they were not engaged in devotional service. And we know that envy, how we just at the start of the discussion today, we saw that we are jealous of Krishna, we are envious of Krishna, and we might not know about it, or we must have forgotten about it, but it is definitely there. Why? Because Krishna says, I am the ability in men. So everything, whatever wonderful abilities we see in different people, is because of Krishna. So that way we see that here people invest, they were not even knowing who is Krishna, and they were envious because they had forgotten after so many lifetimes of birth in all the different species, they have forgotten, right? But we see that devotees, out of their mercy, they go out of their comfort zone and they preach. So the devotional service that we get is only through devotees. And then further, there is Falshruti. For one who explains the supreme secret to devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me. There is no servant in the world more dear to me, nor than he, nor will there ever be. And I declare, one who studies this sacred conversation of ours, worship me by his intelligence. So this is Falshruti. But what I'm trying to say here is that we get devotional service only through mercy of devotees, and devotees will never give up on us. Once again, whatever little start, once we hear something, it will stay with us. Again, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Neha Bikram Nashusti Pratyavayano Vidyate. Like, in this endeavor, there is no loss and diminution, and whatever little advancement you have made on this path will save you from the most dangerous type of fear. So even if once you hear the name of the Lord, it is going to hear you, even if you don't agree at that moment, but the seed is there and it will help you. So this is what I understand, Mataji, that only the mercy of devotees, and devotees go beyond this instruction given by Lord. They go beyond, they, break that law and they go and do preaching. So we have to surrender to devotees actually. Again, pleasing the devotees, whether it is, our congregation, our authority, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, all previous acharyas, Mataji. We have to keep going on and on and on, baby step a day. Yeah.
So true, Mataji. So true. Thank you so much for your answer. You're so specific while answering. I was just about to write the shloka number. Then again, I thought that, okay, I'll reread the 18th chapter again. Thank you so much. Mataji, I have another question. So the mercy at the start, what happens? Krishna gives us a guru, and then from guru, again, we try to seek the bhakti and look up to Krishna. Is my understanding correct, Mataji?
So, Mataji, I had the same question, when I came to Krishna consciousness, and I'm very fortunate that when I was in Austin, His Grace Sankarshan Das Adhikari Prabhuji, gave me a very beautiful answer that, with the mercy of Krishna, you get Guru, and with the mercy of Guru, you get Krishna. So they are like two tracks on which the train of your bhakti, goes smoothly. So Krishna sends you Guru, and then Guru gives you Krishna, like that.
Oh, thank you so much, Mataji. Eternally grateful to you.
I'm
And
grateful to you, Mataji.
You're
Mataji,
very helpful, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Mataji, are you Jyoti Takne, Mataji?
Yes, I'm Jyoti
Okay.
Takne.
Your name is different here, so yeah, thank you,
Yes,
Mataji. I recognize your
She got
voice.
initiated, Mataji.
Wow, Hari Bol.
Yeah.
Hari Bol. I'll change your number in my name in my phone now. Thank you.
It's okay, Mataji, not an issue. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam.
So thank you all, Matajis.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I will just read the chat messages. Chinmay Mataji is saying, Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you so much for a very brilliant class. Yeah, Radha Jyoti Mataji is thanking for all. Every day she thanks for the class. Thank you, Mataji.
We have to
Hare
learn
Krishna,
from
dear
her.
devotees. Anybody having any more questions for Mataji? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mitravinda Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. What a wonderful session, Mataji, and how you beautifully were able to capture different verses from the Bhagavatam and from Bhagavad Gita and relate that to this particular section where Hiranyakashipu is performing austerities and explain his mood. Thank you so much. It was I really liked how you talked about how his faltering voice and his flattering attitude. So that was also wonderful and very beautiful answers, Mataji. You have really got a wonderful talent of explaining it in such a way that everybody can understand and solve their problems, solve their get answers through you. So thank you so much. Very beautiful.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Your inspiration.
Thank you. So we have a couple of raised hands again. Prahladananda Prabhu, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for allowing me to speak, and to all the devotees, especially Mataji, who structured the lecture so nicely with all the diamond slokas from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. In connection to this, I don't have a question. I'm just giving my reflection here.
Sure.
That, yes, we are all conditioned souls, and many a times we are like Hiranyakashipu in our intentions, but Why do we get mercy of Srila Prabhupada and other devotees? The reason is, and why didn't Hiranyakashipu did not get that mercy? So the reason is given in 11th canto that, the mostly we get mercy through Madhyamadhikaris who are Prema Maitri Karuna Upeksha Yah Karati Samadhyama. So those who are distributing mercy of Srila Prabhupada, like us, we are trying to distribute books and other things. But those who are outright atheists, who are envious of Lord Krishna, Lord Supreme Lord, they do upeksha. That's why Hiranyakashipu, people like they will never receive, despite devotees trying to give them mercy, they will not accept it. So this is the reason there are two types of people, Sura and Asura, in this world. And this was my little reflection about, why some people do not, like Hiranyakashipu, he was completely outright against Vishnu. So those who are like that in this world, they will not be able to progress or get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, even if we try to give them like that. Again, in Bhagavatam also there is a nice slok which says, we are all trying to become sukhi in this world. We want to become sukhai karmani karidu loko natad uparam. And in the reply, Maitreya Muni says that asis sankle samam vidatte gunanuva sravanam budare. So the whole solution of our problems in this world and is just to do etadiyatu chittanam matra sparsesya muhuru bhavasindu plavodrasto haricharyanu. So if we just stick to Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha, then all the success is for us in our life. This is little what reflection I wanted to
Beautiful,
share.
Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you very much.
Prabhuji, I would request if you could send the shloka numbers that you just quoted in the chat or later on. Maybe you can give it to Pan. Yeah,
sure.
I would like to
Sure,
go through
Mataya.
this. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Learning
Okay,
from all of you.
Thank you.
Glorious.
Thank you, Prahladanand Prabhu, for your realizations. You always quote wonderful verses. Thank you, Prabhu. Now we have Sukaka Krishna Prabhu. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mitravinda Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Wonderful
Pranam,
class, was so nice. You really analyzed so well, and you showed all those slideshows and other things and all, the PPTs, and you really brought the difference between an asura doing austerity and a devotee doing austerity. So nice, very wonderfully said, and so happy to hear your lecture. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji. Thank you for all the inspiration and blessing. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sukaka Krishna Prabhu, for joining every day and encouraging all of us. And
Thank you,
in the chat box, Vrinda Gopika Mataji is saying, thank you, Mataji, for your inspiring class. You do a lot of services. You inspire us. Thank you, Mataji. So Vrinda Gopika Mataji is saying that your services are glorious, Mataji, Mitravinda Mataji. And if there are no more questions or realizations, can we end this call today?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Vinita
Mataji,
thank you also. You're doing 24-hour service. Wherever I see only Vinita Mataji, here, there. Always thanks to you also for doing such a great service to Bhakti
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. All the blessings from all the great devotees like you. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Vinita Mataji, I had a question for you.
Yes, Mataji.
When do you sleep, Mataji?
No sleep.
I sleep all the day. I sleep all the day, Mataji.
Okay, later on, maybe after this call. Hare Krishna,
Okay,
Lalita
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You can sleep and do the service.
Very, very
Yes.
inspiring class.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Sham Sudhakar Prabhu is also saying wonderful class. Ekaradhika Mataji is also saying thank you, Mataji, for the beautiful class. So we'll end the call here. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bhagavatam
All
ki
praise
jai.
Mitravinda
Jai.
Mitravinda Mamatamayi.